Bare naked, bare naked, bare naked, ABCs. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every single Bare Naked Ladies song from 7 to Y. And I think that Aaron might be coming. I'll just have to wait 5 more minutes. Oh, wait, nope, he can't make it. Nope, never mind. Well, we do have Betsy. Thank you for joining me, Betsy.
Oh, thanks, as always, for having me on.
And luckily, we have a guest tonight as well, so you don't have to just listen to the two of us banter. We have Brent Henry returning. Thank you for joining us, Brent.
Thanks for having me.
And tonight, we're going to be discussing the song Just Wait from the In Flight album. If you have not heard this before, here is a quick snippet.
I could just wait 5 more minutes and tell you how I feel. 'Cause time can make love fade away. I wanna show my love for real.
This song is written by Jim Cregan and Anna Hill.
Aww.
Now, you say "aw," I'm going to let you take that because it sounds like you know who Anna Hill is.
It's his wife.
It is.
Technically his second wife, I think. Wasn't he? Did he get divorced at one point? Like when he was really young? Either way, she's been his wife for a long time.
I don't have that, but it doesn't mean that it's not true.
I thought I saw somewhere that he was divorced once when he was young, but I can't imagine Jimmy being divorced. But you never know. So yes, it's his wife. His wife of
It may
many
have just
years.
been like he was on the road so
definitely.
much. I can't imagine any other reason.
He's such a
for
nice
that.
guy.
But yeah, this is his wife. I actually looked online. I'm like, who is this Anna Hill? Who's Anna Hill? And like, I kept getting Anna Hills and Annies, and I'm like, no, it's not right. And then it came up. No, that's his wife. Jim said that this was the first idea he came up with during the songwriting time for this album.
Oh.
And in the track by track, he says that it came from a feeling that he had while flying out to a gig, and he was late to get to the flight, and his daughter was late for school, and he said to her, "Can't you just try to be on time?" And then he didn't see her for a week, and that feeling of regret for not telling her that he loved her in that moment. He just wonders how he could take that pressure that he feels from work and put it to the side and tell people that he cares about, that he loves them. And, you know, now this song has almost become a mantra in their house for when they're late. Like, nope, 5 more minutes.
Just wait.
And everyone else around him in the group, when they were saying that, they're like, "Oh, that's sweet."
I remember hearing an interview where they'd said he's usually the one who's late when they're on tour or do whatever. He was normally the one who was last out the door. So I'm not surprised.
Maybe time management isn't his strongest suit then.
Well, I did see a show. They did a Christmas show in here in Edmonton. I think it was not 2023, but 2022, I believe it was. And he was the first guy there. So he was there. They arrived a bit later, and he was the one up on stage, kind of keeping the people for the sound check, kind of keeping us sort of going, whatever, while he's waiting for the other 3 guys to come out. So it was quite interesting.
I wonder if they pulled a tactic like they do for my best friend when she's always late and I tell her to come an hour earlier than what I actually want her to come. That's like, and if I want her to be at 5, I say be there at 4.
I think we all did that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that tactic.
Don't
Can I
tell her.
Can I throw a little thing out there for me why this? I don't want to get too far earlier ahead of things, but like I love this song because, like I said, it really resonated with me because like I'm a retired Army guy. I was in the Canadian military for about 30 years all told, and I did 3 overseas tours. And it always seemed that if you weren't on tour, you're on an exercise. If you weren't on an exercise, you were headed to a course. And once you're completed the courses, then you get to teach the courses. Like it was just a continuous cycle. And the story I'm going to relate is my wife and I, we got married August 27th, 1993. But why was that important? Because about, the day before we got married, she asked me, hey, you think you're going to go anywhere? And, one of the first early lie of our married life, oh no, I've been in 9 years. I probably won't happen because I've
Probably.
been trying to go away before. Well, the next year, like I missed our first anniversary by 6 days because I deployed to Croatia. I came back and then I went through an officer training program. So I left, I think for the first 11 years, I missed our anniversary because I kept being away. And every time I went to leave, it's like, oh, I wish I just had like 5 or 10 more minutes with you before I'm going out the door or whatever. So
Yeah,
the song really resonated with me because of that.
it's really sweet. Yeah, when I was making notes about it too, I just feel like it's a song about priorities, like taking that extra time to remember what's important in your life. Because the plane can wait, or you can catch another plane. But if you believe on what you feel is like, not necessarily bad terms, just like, without a proper goodbye, especially when it's kids, it sticks with you and you feel really gross about it for a while.
But even later in life too, because again, like very short story here, but I'm the oldest of 4 kids, and my middle brother, he had a heart attack, but in 2006, I think it was, and then he seemed to get better, and I was still in the military. I was in town near him teaching a course, and I was supposed to go see him. Like it was a Saturday, I was supposed to go see him. It's snowing. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. He goes, no, you have to come today. You have to come today. I went. Had probably the best stay together we'd had in like 15 years or whatever. And I left him, give a big hug. Yeah, we have to do this again. And the next day at 9 o'clock in the morning, he was dead. He died of another heart attack.
Oh my God.
So,
I just got
so
chills.
same thing for me. The song that like kind of brought me back. Like said, hey, I would have just loved like 5 more minutes, 5 more days or whatever.
Yeah.
So having leavings like that, sort of those experiences, stuff like this really resonated with me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, and I especially that line where he says, what will it take to remember right now that the last time might be
Right.
And
the
that's
last?
exactly it. Yep.
Yeah. It summarizes it.
Sorry, a bit of a Debbie Downer there, but I had to throw it in.
No,
'cause
no. I mean, it
stuff that makes
totally
me-
applies.
I mean, it's really what Jim is kind of getting to with this song is like we don't give up on those missed moments. Don't rush out the door. Jim, there's a way to fix that. It's you plan to be
Yeah.
early,
I mean,
and then
like
you
with me,
always
there's
have
always the
that
good
5
intentions
minutes.
of leaving early, but then you get like the ADHD. Oh, wait, did I turn off the oven? Did I do this? Did I do that? And it just runs
the
you
stove,
behind.
check the door, check the window, check the door, check
Yeah,
the stove.
check. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I always plan that extra like 15, 20
Wow.
minutes, like when I'm heading
Better than
out.
me.
Like I'm always like, okay, 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna head out this much earlier because I know those things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to say, just wait 5 more minutes.
I played the song for my wife last night. Said, "Oh, what do you think?" She goes, "That's the story of your life. Like every time you go to leave, well, give me 5 minutes because I got to check." She's get 30 years now. She's given up. Okay, go check the door, the back door. Go check the animals, or go check this. Get it over with, out of your system, and then now we can leave.
Right. Did it feel to you guys too like kind of like an updated, like a grown-up version of Peterborough and the Kawarthas? It did to me.
It's interesting that you should
Well,
say
it's
that.
not like word for word follows it, but it's pretty close to me. Like it has kind of the same message, I guess I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a similar message.
That's a song I don't listen to very often, so I'll have to go back and
Yeah,
listen to it.
it's really sweet. I think that was that on Snack Time?
That was on Everything to Everyone.
No, that's not right.
No. That's on. It was on.
Oh, jeez. Hold on.
Our Me or Our Men.
Well, that's-
One of those. It was on that double album.
Yeah, you're right. Of course.
I knew what I was saying, and then I said Everything to Everyone for some reason. Never asked me which of the two it's on because I can never tell
they're
you
pretty much
specifically.
one, yeah.
But it's the White Album.
Yeah.
The reason I say it's interesting that you mentioned that because
Army.
we have
Army.
some extra musicians on this song, which I love. I love the fact that we get some horns in this song. We have Ernesto Barahoma on the trombone again, and Tom Moffat on the trumpet again. They used them on other songs on this album as well, and as well as the previous album, if I remember correctly. But someone that we don't have on here, or we have on here that we didn't have before, is Kate and Pippa Boothman on the claps and snaps. And the reason I was like, well, who are these people? And Kate is a musician in Kawartha.
Funny.
And Pippa, I'm guessing, must be her sister. She's a Canadian-Norwegian businesswoman that encourages people to get outside and play through active gaming. Her Norwegian active gaming company called Playfinity, which their mission is to get kids active by combining physical sports with digital gaming. But she must also work with, I mean, I can't imagine there's too many Pippas in the world. When I looked her up, that was the only one that kept coming up, and it was the same picture. So I'm guessing it's the same woman, and that she and Kate must be related somehow. And Kate is definitively a musician. She's got a website on the Kawartha Northumberland musicians page, which I will put into the liner notes for people to be able to go listen to some of her stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. You mentioned the Kawarthas. I'm like, oh wow.
Hold on a second.
Because if I remember correctly, I grew up in Ontario. I live in Alberta, but I grew up in Ontario, and the Kawarthas are like kind of like Muskoka, which is cottage country. So like I could see, nice relaxing tunes, or like this being something that would fit in with the relaxing atmosphere, kind of like like the cottage kind of setting.
Yeah.
And Tyler pointed out that in the track by track, that talking about that nice relaxing kind of piece to the song, that this is an ode to Jim's doo-wop roots.
Yeah.
And also stems a little bit from their Persuasions album.
Yeah, I thought they mentioned the Persuasions by name in
that.
there as well. That was an influence that they carried through.
Yeah. And Kevin really loved the fact that everyone is singing the majority of this song. Like, they're all together on this.
The harmonies are just beautiful.
It is. And this is one of those songs that they played every single night of the recent tour, although short tour. But
you want to get into that?
But Kevin said that it gets a really good reception from the audience. And I can see why. Like, it's a really cool tune to hear. And I imagine hearing it live would be really wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be
snapping along with them if I were there. Very catchy.
I mean, music-wise, this song reminds me so much, like, especially because of the horns and the organ. It reminds me a lot of like Tower of Power or Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was a big Huey Lewis and the News fan back in the day. Had their sweatshirt and everything.
Oh, wow.
Huey, we know you listen. Come on the show.
News, we know you listen. Come on the show.
That's right.
And one thing I loved about the song is just, again, with all the other, and like I said, I'm on episode 168, so they're talking about more complex songs or whatever, and lots going on. I really love the simplicity of this. Like I said, as other shows, I'm channeling Stefan here or whatever, from other show, it's simple. It goes through, it's not complicated. And to me, there's a lot to be said with that. It's like a break from some of the other noise that you hear in some of the different songs. So calming, that's the thing I'd use, calming.
Yeah.
So, and you mentioned the simplicity. It is only a 4-chord song for the most part. There's a couple of changes here and there, but looking on ultimateguitar.com, and this is an E flat, and it's the chords that they go to are E flat, A flat, C minor, and F minor. Now, I am not Aaron, and nor would I ever pretend to be. Oh, there's also some B flats and F7s mixed in throughout the song as well. But given my best guess, looking at this, I believe that Aaron has taught me that this is if I am correct, it's going 1, 5, 6, 2. If they're in the same, if it is in the E flat, and it does repeat itself, it's pretty much the same things over and over, except for the bridge, which breaks away from that and changes the order of those, but it keeps the same notes all the same. It does add in like a C minor 7 and an F minor 7 in there, but other than that, and the B flat makes a lot more of an appearance. So maybe they change key at that point, but yeah, it's pretty much the same throughout the song.
And something I was just thinking as you mentioned this is, I wonder if it was intentional that he slowed it down. Hey, wait 5 more minutes, and the slow slow tempo to kind of like,
That's a good point.
this is your clue to slow life down for for a little while here. So,
and yeah, like you said, where the song is simpler, like laid out simpler and not tons and tons of layers and kind of repeating a lot of the verses. Yeah.
Because it's a simple message.
Programmatic yet again.
but I remember hearing someone, I think it was Aaron, said that's okay. It's like, it could be.
No, that's where I got that term from. Every time I use the word programmatic now, that's my little salute to him.
I'm gonna be honest, when I'm hearing Aaron say break down some of the songs, I have no idea what he's talking about. It sounds really, really good.
It's like a brilliant mind kind of situation with equation bubbles over his head. Yeah. Pretty intense.
It makes sense. Like I said, it's like algebra and I don't get along, but he could probably teach me algebra online, because I said, just when he says it like that, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it sounds right when he says it.
He should have been a music teacher.
Well, he's told me he'd never wanted to be a teacher, but yet here he was.
He's teaching all of us all the time.
He is in a teacher role now. So, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of it.
No, this
I
is
had
a really,
a thought, I
really,
lost
really.
it.
Oh no, you lost your train of thought. No, I thought this was a really sweet song that has a good, way of kind of making you stop and think and kind of reprioritize what, how crazy life can be and what's important.
And Brent, I'm gonna diss on this album for a second, so I apologize. But you had mentioned that this is the chance for it to slow down, and it's programmatic, and that the song slows it down. Yes, but not on this album.
Yeah.
Any other album, this would slow the album down, which would be good. This is actually almost a speed up from some of the songs that are on this album.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. This album is far from my favorite. Like I liked Fake Nudes a lot better than I did this album. There's the odd song that kind of grabs me, but it's the exception rather than the rule, because my favorite albums, and where's Jeff when you need him? I was gonna say one of my top 3 albums is Maybe You Should Drive. And I liked almost every song on that album. Same with Maroon, same with Stunt. I like every song that's on it. But for this one, it's more, okay, which songs do I like that I can put on, like you said, that I can put on my, my playlist. And that's a short list compared to, and I gotta be honest, I was in Hawaii, in Maui, on a beach, walking on a beach in my bare feet in the water, listening to this, and it's, this is killing me. Like I did the first time I heard it. So I forced myself to listen to it all. But when I walked back, when I walked back, skip, because there were songs on there that just weren't calling to me at all.
Brent, you are not alone. You're pretty much preaching to the choir. It was just a totally different feel, this album. It's just
very
different. I don't want to be too critical. It's definitely different.
I love the guys, but I thought this album in some ways, and again, tell me if I'm wrong here, I think they're getting to the point now, and I'll still pay to go see. I'll still pay for my front row, VIP gold, go see them, meet the band tickets. But to me, like an album like this, it's very, I don't want to say self-serving, but it's very, hey, this is us. If you this is the music we like now. Hey, we're 30 some odd years into it. We're in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. We're going to do what we want to do, and hey, we hope you come along for the ride. We'll sing some of the old stuff, because that's that's part of that. They call it the bargain proposition or whatever that you have, and we'll give you your stuff, but also you're going to listen to ours. And Like I said, I respect them for that, but it's like, hey, if you're going to want me to, I bought the album because I'm a completist kind of person. But if I had listened to it before I bought it, I still would have bought it, but I would have cringed as I'm hitting pay or whatever on in YouTube or iTunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And-
I feel the same way. I'd still go to a concert that if they had any in New England. I was close enough. But yeah, it's just a totally different feel. And I know Ed said a while back that he's like, I think he even said as far back as like the album before this, he's like, we're just doing music that makes us happy. And at the time that was fine because like the album was still good, like the one before this, not Fake News, so it would be Detour de Force. But now it's really showing that like what they want to create for music now is drastically different, or at least most of the songs are.
And I wouldn't say they.
Oh, right.
I
Okay, Ed.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, truly, it's Ed's songs on this that are very much about he's too old to keep touring.
Yeah, that's true.
Which the first time, because that is so prevalent on this album, the first time I heard this, I'm like, oh, well, this is an upbeat version of that, and was kind of in that frame of mind, like, okay, well, this is Jim's way of saying that he's done and that he's tired. But it's not. That's absolutely not what he's saying with this song. He's just saying, like, it's important to take those 5 minutes and, as you mentioned earlier, find the priorities in life. And it's not that he doesn't want to tour or he doesn't want to do this. He's just saying, I need to make sure I put my family as a priority too.
Which is totally how you should do things.
Yeah. And I love that message. That's
Yeah.
the, like, I want more songs like this on the album.
Yeah.
But so you look at, but it's really, to me, a really reflective album. It's like I'm going to be 60 this year, so I'm older than all of them. But it's like it's almost like you discovered, hey, like I'm getting old, like, and love and life, one night, like say Waning Moon, 50 for a while, too old. These are all songs. They're all kind of like, oh, I think you're feeling your mortality, or you're getting tired of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah. Well, I'd venture to say he's been going through it for a while now, though.
It's bleeding. It's bleeding more and more, and through some of the stuff than it was before.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I like Jim's midlife crisis better.
I know.
I gotta say, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And my scores on this album are gonna be relatively low. However, with that being said, it's not going to look right when we do the whole total album, because songs like this are going to boost it up and throw the average off.
And not that much, I guess.
Yeah, so that's why it's an average.
I don't think it'll throw it off that much. Like it'll be, it's
still gonna be low. Yeah.
Oh no, I really enjoy this song. Like I like
good.
the happiness of it, the positive, like.
Yeah.
The thing about this is it's a very positive message, even though he's saying he starts off the story, and I guess we can go into the words itself. He starts off the song with the fact that he's in this rush and he forgot to say goodbye, which is kind of this sad story. But honestly, if you were going in the classic themes, this would be a comedy. In that it goes from a low point to a high point, and you finish on that high note that he's learned his lesson and grown from it. And I think that, like, it's a very upbeat and happy song in a lot of ways, even though it's slow.
Yeah, I agree. It's a optimistic, kind of like a he's learned this lesson and he's passing it on to you kind of thing. So,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree. It's a positive message, certainly. And, like I said, to me, getting your priorities straight is something that's always, as you get older, I think you appreciate that a little more. Again, I know earlier in my life, I was very career focused. And then I come to a point one day, it's like, this doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? So like, and I think when you reach that point, that's when everything tips, right? You've been kind of balancing.
Tipping point. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he, I
Totally
think he
true.
reached his tipping point with this song. Like he was basically, you know what, this stuff's important to me, but you know what, my family is more important, so I'll be giving them more
It,
time or whatever than I.
it feels like a tipping point without like being a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean? Yeah, better spin on it.
We get from Jim one of the great lines, I think, when it comes to, it's not a pun, but it's him playing with
Yeah.
words.
Scramble.
I love the scramble line. The
Yeah,
fact that he's talking
cute.
in the bridge, he's talking about he's going to make his wife eggs in the morning because that's what she loves, and she's going to do it in her favorite style. But he's not going to scramble his words.
Wanna make it eggs in the morning, her favorite style, that's what I'll do. I won't scramble my words, not this time.
Or his priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually we look for Ed to give us those.
I
those
know.
flips,
Maybe he's
and-
thinking in his head. He's like, "Oh, their friends are gonna be looking for some wordplay. I'll throw them a little something."
Yeah, like you said, with like I gotta be honest, when it comes to the word, like a little bit of the word play, like you said's in there. But like I said, I like the simplicity of it. So I don't have to. Okay,
Yeah.
how many different meanings is to? It's not like a Steven song
Yeah.
where that's the really. I was again. I go back to. Like someone had said in the episode I just heard, said, yeah, I had to look up a whole bunch of different words that they had because I didn't necessarily they were real
Yeah.
words, but like say they did, it's kind of unusual. You know what? I didn't have to look up anything in the song. It all was easy. It all made sense.
It's nice when you get that balance. Some songs you don't have to do
Yeah.
that.
Well, and some songs don't call for it really. So
Right. Well, what are we going to call this song? What are we going to rank it on?
Minutes?
scrambled eggs.
Ooh, how many minutes?
Minutes. So nice. Yeah. No, that's good. I like that.
I like that. All right, let's keep that. Oh, I don't have that window open. Why is that? Okay, hold on. I don't have my window open for rankings. So
Oh,
hold
I
on.
do.
Let me get the
see.
rankings open here. All right. I should have just asked you if you had it open. You could just put it.
I do have it open.
You should have just said, "Just wait, Tracy." You don't
Just
need to-
wait. Oh, I see you tapping through. There you are.
I'd love to see your spreadsheet
Okay.
again too, just to sort of see where you are with the songs. So again, I got another 100 to go
Yeah.
yet, so
Yeah, and he has it broken down by album as well, so it's pretty
I
cool.
really look forward when you come back to do the albums. I'd love to be on a couple of the albums again, just because like I've given that one again because it's come up a little bit in the past few episodes. I've been giving more thought as to how I'd rank or how I'd rearrange albums. I gotta be honest. That's one thing I've really enjoyed from the show because I haven't really given that much thought. Is this song in the right place, or does it help the album flow really well, or does it bring it to a stop? And oh wow, okay, like maybe I'll skip the next song, because it doesn't fit. But I remember which song was it? Like it was not all that long ago. He said I always listen to the song is because it's between two of my favorite songs. That's why I listen to it rather than just skip past it. I listen to it and then
Sandwich it in there.
yeah. But it gets the airtime, right? It gets the play because okay, I'm too lazy to hit
Well placed.
fast forward, so I'm going to listen to it anyways.
Great.
Because back in the day, you actually had to fast forward.
Yeah. You have to have a very agile finger to catch it in time.
Well, Betsy, since you're the only cast member here tonight, I'll have you go first. How many minutes do you give this song?
I think I really like the message. The music is great. It's very like finger snappy, very bouncy, catchy, optimistic. It's very Jim. How to put this? When I listen to Bare Naked Ladies, it's not necessarily what I'm looking for, but I'm glad I found it, I guess is how I would phrase it. And I like it a lot. But I had it on replay for 6 or 7 or 8 songs and I didn't really get sick of it. So I guess I would give it a 3.7.
Okay. All right. And Brent, how about you? What would you give this song?
This is, to me, I hope I'm not playing victim to the halo effect here, as you know, like said, because I just like the others more. I don't want to accidentally bump up this one's score. But I was thinking, and again, using the measure that I think your cast has used in the past, like if it's going to be on my playlist, it's going to be, like a 4, songs that are a 4. So I think I'd probably give it I'll be nice and I'll give it a 4.1. I was going to go just straight 4, but because there's other 4s that I don't like as much as this song. But I think 4.1 is a good spot for it because, like I said, there's a whole bunch of songs that are ahead of it. But I'd still, it still has a worthy place on my playlist. So
Nice.
Okay. And I really like this song.
is there trouble with Tracy with this one? Because
There's no trouble with Tracy with this song. No. Maybe a little bit more horns, but I really really like it. I'm not going to scramble my words about this song. This is a sweet song, beautiful harmonies, beautiful design. Has the horns, it has the claps, has snaps, has that gorgeous organ, and Jim's melodic voice in this is perfectly melded with everything else, and an amazing message. Listening to it brings me joy to my heart every time, and this time I think it's actually brought joy to the world as well, and we can talk more about that next week, but for now, I'm going to give this song a 5.
oh wow,
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I might have to think about that.
Perfect, huh?
I think this is probably one of Jim's best songs.
Oh, certainly.
Other than maybe the next one we're going to
Wow,
hear
I'm
like
surprised.
down the road, like here together.
Yeah, that's a nice one
Like,
too.
I guess the difference is though, and I don't want to get ahead of it, but like in Here Together, the words make more total sense here. They don't necessarily make total sense in that one. So I'll have to give some thought as to how I would score that one, just because it's okay. The elements that were really special here aren't necessarily there. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. No, that's the
creature.
tricky thing about week to week, like having to base this. But yeah, I put this up there with some of the best songs out there. And if I'm going to listen to a doo-wop song, the only thing that can make this better is if they had brought back and one of the persuasions is dead, so they can't
yeah.
do that. But if they had been able to bring back the persuasions for this, that would have elevated it like
Oh,
to
yeah.
a
This
boom
would be
level.
great. Yeah, great with the persuasions.
I didn't like.
But this is just a perfect song.
And it's funny because I didn't like a lot of the Persuasion songs. Like there's the odd one that I didn't mind, but it's an album that I cracked open, I listened to a few, whatever, and then I kind of like just tucked it away because not a lot of it appealed to me. But what would make this song better for me is if that mythical sort of reunion where Stephen and Andy were all of them were there because he can hit the higher notes and Stephen has his own sort of flavor to it. Like it'd be really nice to have them all together in that one.
I think
Oh, that would be
Tracy's frozen. Frozen. Are you Tracy? Frozen.
That would be beautiful. That would-
You were stuck in that kind of puckered pose for a while there.
Great.
But luckily, this
I wish
is
this was a video podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, luckily, it's a video cast. It's just we get to
Yeah.
voice.
That video will disappear. It's not going anywhere.
It's living in my memory forever.
I control that.
I doubt that. Oh, my
So
God.
I'm glad that you were able to join me, Betsy and Brent.
Yeah.
It's good to have friends here, and there were some
bring-
friends that weren't able to join me. I do have another friend too that's never joined me. His name is Jeremiah. You ever met him?
Oh, was he a bullfrog?
He was a bullfrog. He
Oh,
was a good
really?
friend of mine.
Oh, that's nice.
We'll talk about him more next week, though.
Okay. I hope you brought joy to the world.
Well,
So come back, join us for Joy to the World.
thanks for having me. And I look
Peace
forward
out,
to-
Girl Scouts.
And I look forward to catching up on episodes. So eventually, I'll be even. Like, hopefully, by the albums.
Yeah. Even Stevens. Yeah.
And yeah,
that'd be-
when we do an album, pick an album you'd like to come back for, and we'll have you back for one.
Well,
of them.
you can put me down right now for because I want to really sort of like. I'm hoping Jeff will be back, whatever, and I'll be talking to him with, especially like said, maybe you should drive. And I'm sure everybody.
I will put
right.
you down.
I'm sure everybody
for it.
wants to be on Stunt, and almost everybody probably wants to be on Maroon. So
I'm an Army Armen fan. So, and we all got different. We're
Thank you for joining us, Brent.
yeah. Nice seeing you guys.
Thank you very much. Look forward to being here again.
Yes, see you in a few weeks.
Waterproof records are your unsinkable tunes from the past, present, and future. What's up, everyone? I'm Jacob Givens, the host of Waterproof Records podcast. So what exactly is a waterproof record? Let's go back in time for a moment to when you were a teenager, and it's the first time you heard an album that would change you forever. Whether you're a musician and it was the reason you picked up an instrument and started a band, or if you're just a music lover, it's the album that made you who you are to this day. You'll tell people that your life wouldn't be the same without it. It changed your DNA. So join me on the podcast where I do deep dives on some of the most influential and important albums in my life. And other times I welcome guests on the show to talk about their musical journeys and what they consider to be their waterproof record. It's time to wax nostalgic with Waterproof Records with Jacob Givens.